Hello and thank you for joining us on Newsweek, where we highlight some of the biggest stories that made the headlines recently. I am Mark Otabo. President Tinubu visits Benue State, orders security chiefs to hunt down perpetrators of Yelwata killings. Also, governors to dismantle illegal roadblocks, tackle multiple taxation. And later on the show, Senate uncovers 210 trillion naira in questionable NNPC transactions. All the details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Earlier this week, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu paid a visit to Benue State following a deadly attack on the Yelwata community that claimed multiple lives. Determined to find lasting solutions to the ongoing security crisis in the region, the president met with key stakeholders to chart a course towards sustainable peace and stability. Now, during the visit, President Tinubu directed the nation's security chiefs, including the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to identify, pursue, and bring justice to those responsible for the recent killings. Now, I have two guests on the program today, a communications consultant, Ibrahim Garba, joining us from our Abuja studios. Ibrahim Garba, good to have you on the show this evening.
Yeah, thank you very much once again, Mark.
All right, I have, of course, Dr. Adeni Ojikutu right here in the studio with me. Dr. Adeni, how are you doing this evening?
Thank you very much. I'm very well.
It's good to have you. Well, let me take on Ibrahim Garba first. Ibrahim Garba, quickly, the president has tasked the security chiefs to hunt down these killers. Now, do you think the security agencies have the capacity and intelligence support needed to carry out such a directive effectively? Let's begin from there.
Look, as you know, suddenly Nigeria has become a crime scene, and it's terrible, the situation we find ourselves today. And you know it. The security chiefs have been overstretched. So it's time now for us to go into the details of what should be done. And first, I will advise we should, work with the traditional institutions because they are closer to the people and they have a lot of information they can provide for the security agencies. And again, you begin to ask, Mark, what happens to the security votes? What happens to the monthly allocation going to the government of Benue State and other states of the Federation? So it's time for what I would call a peer review. Apart from engaging the traditional institutions, the governor earlier-led government should borrow a leaf from what happened in Zamfara State today. Why is it that the insecurity in Zamfara continued to decline? So there's a need for him to invest in research. There's a need for him to invest in local vigilantes. There's a need for him to consult the traditional institution. Benue, as you know, is the food basket of the Federation. So there is a need for the government to continue to embark on this policy so that you begin to minimize this threat, because oftentimes that area have been very, very prone to killings. And invaders continue to take advantage of the weakness of the state because of the porous borders. And it's time for us to even look beyond that, because as it stands now, almost every part of the country, is facing this crisis. So there's a need for that synergy between the state, the local government, the federal government, so that we begin to find a way, a lasting solution to this insecurity that pervades our country today, Mark.
All right, Dr. Denny, now, do you think this is a breakdown of intelligence structure? And that is why we have this problem, because these intelligence personnel continue to collect their emoluments, salaries, and of course they are paid to do a job. And such a dastardly act was carried out, and nobody seems to feel like somebody's head should roll with a community of that magnitude. And it's not just the killings. These guys will come and wipe out a lineage, like it's a targeted killing, like a very precise operation. I mean, where do we go from here?
As we've discussed before, I told you that is a pattern, and I've drawn out the cause, the incidents, and the possible solutions. Number one, why is this thing happening again and again? The last time we discussed this, I think sometime in March on this program, we said we don't want to come back and still be seated and be talking about this type of killings, because we've not been able to diagnose the problem, really. And if you do not know the real problem, you'll not be able to provide the right solution.
Okay.
The real problem is climatic change in the upper country. When there is climatic change, there is, drought. The cows does not have what to feed on. The cow owners, pastoral farmers, the elders will not have a choice than to move them. That is second stage. When there is drought, there will be no food for the cows to feed. There will be, migration, need for them to migrate. When they migrate, where are they migrating to? To the middle belt, sometimes down the south. So when they migrate, they will be passing through, there is a grazing route that development has affected. Now, those routes has been affected. Those routes are not there. People are building, farms, large-scale farming and all that. Now, the solution, the problem is that for the fact that we've been unable to understand that is because of what the cows will eat, okay, that these things keeps happening. Now, because they have done something very, very painful to humanity, killing over 100, 200 people in a community, everybody is angry. Government will put in more security forces. Now, they will run back. But running back, would this type of thing happen again if we do not handle these things with three solutions? Number one, is ranching is something everybody must be serious about. The government should make ranching compulsory, followed by using of technology. Those people that has perpetrated this heinous act, right, if they are prosecuted, what do you need to prosecute them? Technology. There is what's called geographical information system to track movement of people. Mm-hmm. These people are not ghosts. Where did they come to perpetrate the evil from, and where do they move to in the morning after perpetrating this evil? If you do a military or joint security operation on them, mm-hmm, you gather intelligence. What is their motive? To settle in a land that is probably not theirs. Okay. And if they want to do land grabbing and taking up new communities that is not theirs, if that is the intention, does he have an international agenda or collaboration? You can use this first-hand investigation to get this information, and when you do, you prosecute. Okay. So if people are sent to jail and people are prosecuted for killing people 2 years ago, 5 years ago, even in March 2025, I tell you by now, the people that want to do that or such things will be discouraged because they know justice is served. Right. So when there is no justice, it's difficult for you to even nip it in the bud.
All right, Ibrahim Garba, quickly now. Should we begin to overhaul our entire security architecture in Benue State, considering the fact that it's the food basket of the nation? Not only that, these guys came to operate at such a manner, and there was no footage to capture when they came in and how they went out. And for you to actually carry out such an act, it will have gone on for hours. So you are saying that for hours that this wickedness perpetrated, no footage was captured as to when these things happened. I mean, should we begin to question a lot of things, even our structures right now? Because are we in trouble here?
So, Mark, I want to deviate from what he said because, in a way, I disagree with some points he made about maybe this climate change, advancing it towards the farmer-herders clash. This is beyond the farmer-herders clash now. Okay. It's a community, it's a community problem. Clashes between border communities and all that. So, and that is why I say, it is now time for us to for the government to invest in one intelligent gathering. Invest in the traditional institutions. They are closer to the people. And at the same time, deploy these vigilantes to man these border areas because they know those people, they know invaders. So you need information to work with. The security agencies need information to work with. Government need information to work with.
Okay, Ibrahim Garba.
I remember sometimes, but when the DS... Yes.
Ibrahim Garba, you said they need information to work with. But whatever happened, there was also an intel from within. That was why this operation was obviously successful. So where do we begin to dismantle the structures from? If you are saying security agents should gather intelligence, what happens to the intel from within that feeds off information to these people to come and invade?
No, it's all about intelligence sharing. We have the army, the police, and all other security architectures. If one feels too superior to share with the other, security agencies, there might be clash. But at the same time, don't forget that the internal policing, the policing we have today, are they well funded? Are they well supported by the state government? And that is why I said it's beyond the optics. The governor should invest more, one, in policing, community policing, and at the same time vigilantes, and again, talk to the traditional institution. Look, Mark, there's a disconnect here. If the information coming in is not adequate enough, definitely people will infiltrate. But whereas we invest in the local policing, especially the vigilante and the traditional institutions, I will tell you this for free, we're going to nip this problem in the bud. So that's the way to go.
All right, well, we have to go on a break. We have to go on a break right now, and of course, Newsweek continues in a moment. Stay with us.